Good morning, it's Wednesday. I'm Wayne. Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne. Let me ask you a question. First of all, thank you for your time. I always want to do that at the beginning. And the reason I do that is because a long time ago, a very good friend of mine said to me, the most valuable thing anyone can give you is their time. So thank you for your time. Thank you for showing up. I've been wondering about what I could do today that would be of the greatest use to you. So I thought about it, and I thought about, here's what I've decided to say. I have a very simple but very important message. So thank you for showing up. And all I ask is that you have an open mind and just listen and then think about it and decide later. Okay? Thanks. Question. How much time do you spend each day thinking? No, seriously. When do you sit down quietly, if ever, and just think? What happened today? What did you hear? What did you see? What did you experience? What did you do? What did you learn? How will you use that information tomorrow or at any time in the future to make your situation better, to improve your lot? I think it was Henry Ford that said, thinking is the hardest work there is. That's why so few people engage in it. So I wanted to go into this. It's a quick little article that Bucky Fuller wrote. So I've spoken to you about Bucky several times. Bucky was decades ahead of his time. He was one of the craziest people ever to live. He was called crazy because he was so far ahead of his time. People in the 50s, 60s, and 70s had a really hard time comprehending or believing what he was saying because it was so far in the future. Well, the future's here now, and what he was saying back then is now becoming true. Like computers would be used around the globe to educate people. What? In the 50s? No way, because there were only 5. From the beginning of time that you were born, there's a battle for your mind. Your parents won it. So your parents who loved you and cared about you did their best to tell you and teach you how to survive and thrive in the world in days beyond their own survival. They want to prepare you for the world. So they taught you, if they loved you, and they did, how to talk, how to behave, what to do, how to do it. A good parent is going to do this. They're going to teach their kids how to get on in the world. The thing is, times change and some of the information is dated. Not the good manners part, not the responsibility part, not the commitment part, not the dedication part. All those intrinsic skills are things people need. And a lot of people miss those today. A lot of people don't know how to commit, how to dedicate, how to persist, how to carry on through adversity. I mean, I meet people at this point in my life, it's amazing how many people are quitting. They've been quitting things before, they're quitting things now, they're looking forward to quitting things in the future. They're just quitters. Rehab, that's a place for quitters. But these other things I'm talking about, like simple manners. So there's a battle for your mind, and your parents want it. So they tell you. Then you go to school, then they send you off to school. And they tell the teachers, now you put some stuff in their mind. So the teachers, you go to school, now your teachers want to share of your mind. So they tell you what they think. Then you go to church and the priest wants a piece of your mind. So they tell you they want to share. So they tell you what to think, what to do, how to behave, what are the rules. Then you do everything people say, and you go out and you get a job. What does your boss tell you? What to do, how to think, how to behave. Then you go vote and you get these politicians. What did they tell us? What to do, how to think, how to behave. Now, on and on it goes between the parents and the teachers and the priests and the bosses and the politicians. Most people have been told how to think so much. Most people I know have never had an original thought. So it's time to think now more than ever. It's time to think. Especially now when you're being chastised or ostracized because of what you think and what you say. It's become more important than ever to be able to think clearly and to articulate your position. So, this is Bucky He has more accolades after his name than any American in history, as you can see. But unfortunately, very few people have ever heard of him. So he had inventions like the geodesic dome. And there's on and on and on and on and on now. And there's articles in the States, one of the local paper, and all over. Affordable housing, affordable housing, affordable housing. And people all chime in, and they've got these all wild, drastic, airy-fairy pontifications about how affordable housing, blah, blah, blah. None of them have really concrete solutions. They don't offer anything else. Anything that's concrete that can be done to solve the problem of affordable housing. It's very simple. You build one of these. You build a geodesic dome. A geodesic dome gives you the most volume with the least amount of material or land mass. But you didn't get this approved by City Council? Oh, no, we can't do that. That's not in our code. Ordinance doesn't provide for that. So on they go with their silly rules, not thinking. They don't think. They just follow rules. So we've got to think. And it's all, to me, it comes down to two simple things. Clarity of thought, precision of speech. What are you thinking? How do you say it? So I think it's time now more than ever that we think clearly. So this is from Bucky Fuller. I pinched it off his library. So you can go to the Global Energy Network Institute, GENI, G-E-N-I. Peter Meisen over there is a real good friend of mine. He's been promoting Bucky for decades. And you can get some of these articles. This one is called On Integrity by BUCKMINSTER FULLER. So I just want to read this to you because it resonated with me, and I think it's timely. So here's what he says. I want you to think about this as individuals. An individual will say to me, what can I do? What can I do? I'm just a tiny little guy. And I say, what you can do, I'm repeating something to you. I said, so this is a recording from him, a live speech he did. So it's not grammatically correct, but I'm just going to read it to you anyway. I'm repeating something that I said to you earlier, he was saying on stage, that we are really in the final examination. I did get that last night, I did get last night to you that we are a function in the universe. We're here for local universe information gathering, local problem solving in support of the integrity of an eternally regenerative universe. But integrity is the essence. In an invisible world, there are no visible aesthetics. In an invisible world, their only aesthetic is integrity. In our great computer world we're going into. So I simply say, I'm really confronting you with the way I've lived through all that because I was a comprehensivist. I've kept the records. That's the only reason I'm able to say all these things to you I am up to. I'm giving you a very faithful record of what's going on economically. So I simply say, what you can do personally is commit yourself to what is the truth. That's all. You have to remember that we didn't invent or design the universe, and we're not running the universe. I'm absolutely willing to give credit to I like what the Indians say, the Great Spirit. The word God tends to infer a human being's form. So I say Great Spirit, so you realize that I don't mean the anthropomorphic when I say God. But if you operate with integrity, God wants to know right now, whether human beings have the courage to go along with their own minds, or do you have to go along with the crowd? Do you have to go evenly with the game, or are you going to dare? If we really dare to go with our minds, we'll stay here. We'll go into an entirely new era in humanity. It will not be a matter of earning a living. You'll be doing what you see needs to be done because you'll feel you want to do it. You want to qualify to be able to serve one another. There will be nothing. You will have no question at all about earning a living. At any rate, personally then, we've got 2 minutes to this session. It comes back to each one of you as the numbers multiply of individuals who are really going to commit themselves to integrity, whatever the truth may be, and really commit themselves to making all humanity a success. You have to ask yourself a question. Or my reflex is so conditioned that I resent someone else enjoy themselves? Am I really going to really love my humanity, my fellows? If you do that, we will win. If you can do it, if it is spontaneously arousable in you to operate with integrity and really go along to love and to love comprehensively, that's it. If you think for yourself, will we go along with our minds or will we go along with the crowd? Thank you very much. Bless your hearts. So that's my question and my message for today. Do we dare go with our minds? Do we do what's right? Do we dare ostracism? Do we dare? Do we go along with the crowd or do we go along with our minds? So all I ask is think about it. Most people have never had an original thought. I think it's time to start thinking. So thank you for your time. Thank you for showing up. This is Wednesday. I'm Wayne. Thank you for being a Wednesday with Wayne. I'll see you next week.